Riders ready, watch the gate.
Hey, welcome back to the Dirty Knobs podcast. I'm your host, Hollywood Mike Miranda, and my co-hosts are, as always, JV James Vicente and EC Eric Carter. On this episode, we talk to BMX Hall of Famer, the smoothest rider ever, Daryl Young. Hey, so stick around. We got some new commercials, some great outtakes, and yeah, we had to bleep a couple things out, but you'll get it. Hey, have a great time. Enjoy the show. Stay tuned. I cannot believe it.
What?
You beat JV.
I got a whole shot.
All right. So what's the over under on JV?
It's six.
This has never happened.
It's 6:04 right now.
It's 6:04.
6:07. 3 minutes.
I'll take the over.
I am going over too.
6:07. So he has to be in 6:08. He has to be 6:08.
Yep.
What time is it?
It's 6:06.
Damn it.
What happened?
This is what happened. Shh.
I'm gonna give it to him.
Sassafras. Yeah, give it to him.
Yo.
Bro.
Yeah.
You're late.
Brother, yeah, I didn't get the link.
What?
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
funny
I
how
always
EC got the link, but you didn't get the link.
Hey,
Wow.
come on. You don't have to use my excuses.
Hey, and JV, let me just say this. I just lost $1.
Oh, you
I
did?
took the over on JV.
Dude, I sent you a text. I said I needed the link. Oh, it got stuck in the outbox.
Yeah, well, somehow EC got the link.
Oh,
See?
because did you text it? By the way, I didn't get a text.
Hey, what's your shirt? What's your shirt? What do you got?
Supercross.
Yeah. I thought we were the same kit.
Dude.
We got the hat.
Yeah, check out this one.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's telling, isn't it? That's
Dude, I
telling.
brought that in for the special guest.
You did, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Dude, what an exciting night for me. I mean, I'm sure for all of us, but it's an exciting night for me because I just love this guy. Hey, but before we go there,
Yeah.
gotta talk about a couple of things first.
What we got?
Happy Father's Day for all of those guys that missed it. But let me tell you this, JV, your Father's Day post was fantastic.
Oh.
Well,
Talk about what you posted, JV.
Well, it was the three of us after Dirty Fest with our pants down, holding our number plates over our privates, and actually was a recreation of the original post. What was that in Action?
It was BMX Action. But
It
I
was in
can't.
Action.
No, it might have been Plus.
Whatever
Action.
it was in, it was Stu Thompson, Perry Kramer, and Jeff Utterback, the original SE racing riders.
With number one plates. I think they were number one plates.
There was
that they
also
were holding
other
up.
people there, dude. The one I saw, and maybe I don't know if there was another one. I thought Neil Bonds was on there.
Oh, was there one with Neil Bonds and Charlie Litsky? I don't know.
There was one with Neil Bonds and
Oh, wow.
maybe Bobby Encinas.
Well,
I know
whatever
Bonds.
it was, ours was a recreation at the moment in the heat of battle. We got up there and did that.
Yeah.
My
we did.
My favorite thing about that picture wasn't the picture. My favorite thing about that picture was our number one fan. Dude, she texted me immediately and was,
You got
I'm
the
just
riot
so
act,
disappointed.
dude.
Did you get it too?
Oh, I got a little bit of it.
I got this text message from Mama Carter telling me, I know I'm not your target audience, but I'm so disappointed in you guys, and it's a family thing and everyone watches it, and I just don't think you need to do this.
Yeah.
And so I texted her back. I said, "Yep." And I texted her, "Do you have JV's number?"
And I was on the plane, and I got the text, and I don't have. Go
I
ahead.
texted her number. I texted her JV's number, and then I went radio silent. I said nothing else. So then JV gets the text.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got the text. I guess she copied and pasted it, right? Like, because it was basically exactly what you
I
said.
don't know. Mine was different.
I could
Well,
read it to you.
So then JV calls me, and you know what I said, EC?
Hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't have your
I don't
mom's.
know.
I didn't have your
I
mom's
don't know why
phone
she's
number.
reaching out to you. I'm an innocent guy in this whole thing. I was
Right.
just
Well, I didn't have your mom's phone number in the phone here, and the text came through, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this? And then it took a little while. I saw the writing stop, writing again, and then it said Mama C.
Oh
and
yeah.
I went, oh shit. And I sent Mike a text. I'm like, Mike, what is Mrs. Carter's phone number? And then he didn't answer me right away. So I called him back. He goes, dude, you got to give me a little time to answer you back.
no. All I had to do is look at the message, and I just started rolling. I was laughing. Ooh, JV's in trouble.
Hey, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
She just her message to me was she was just disappointed in the Facebook picture with the Dirty Fest 3 with your britches down.
Yeah.
Same, dude. Copy and paste.
Yeah, I know you're not trying to please me, trying to appeal to different groups. Still thought it was in poor taste to put that on Facebook.
JV, I'm gonna bet that he was the third one to get the text.
I got it
Well-
Monday. I got it Monday at 6 p.m.
Oh, I got it at 3. JV got it at 4. You got it at 6. Oh yeah, She tried to put me in timeout, and then JV got a spanking.
Well, this is the part that got me. She wrote that thing that used with the britches down. Then
Yeah.
the next text was love you. And then the next text was, you have more class than that shows.
Oh yeah. Funny, she didn't send that part to EC and I.
And I'm
Hey,
like, oh
so
boy.
on that note, hey, Mrs. C, we love you. Thank you for being
Yeah.
our number one fan.
Absolutely. She's being a mama. She's being our mama. And I told her that. I said, you're being our mama. That's fine.
I told her I'm not worried about the picture. It's a recreation of an old picture in the BMX magazine.
I said the same. She goes, I didn't know that. She goes, I didn't know that. You know.
Yeah, I knew she wouldn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said it was JV. It was
she's
whole
gonna be
JV.
real mad when she's gonna be real mad next year when we do it in reverse and our asses and our nuts are hanging out.
So good.
Talk about class.
Dude, I got something else I gotta tell you guys. I'm so excited to tell you about this. You know what, Dirty Fest, we every year there's a standout rider that we all love that does something spectacular, and we're like, oh yeah, you see what this guy did? And this year was Danny Redmags.
Yeah, that guy. I like that kid.
Yeah, Danny Waters, USA BMX racer kid, super fast. I mean, but so I stopped at the Redmond Nationals in Paris, California on Friday. And I'll tell you this, there was a kid racing nationals on his Dirty Fest bike.
Yeah.
And he made the mains, and he got like 5th and 6th, and he only raced it in the open. But Danny Redmags, dude, did Dirty Fest proud by racing his dyno with the Redmags in the main events in the open class.
Sweet.
He actually tagged me on my Instagram and posted it, and I shared it when he tagged me in. I shared it back and pretty much said the same thing, dude. Like Danny Redmags flying the Dirty Fest flyer. I called it the Dirty Fest flyer.
Yeah. Dude, so good, good. I hope he tunes into this and hears that, dude. He's got 3 big fans.
Yeah, dude, the kid's fat. He made World's Main this year, and then they had that jacked up time trial motos thing, whatever, like that. Anyway, so he ended up where they did it by time. He was World 6 this year. He's fast kid, dude. Like he's a legit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shit.
And
dude, it races the open with his Dirty Fest bike. So good.
I tell you what, he's gonna have another year of growing into his paws. He's gonna be mighty fast next year at Dirty Fest. I can tell you that, dude. That kid's gonna be lighting pros up.
Dude, let me tell you this. Now,
and if he comes to Frogtown, he's gonna kick Terry T's ass. I'll tell you that, because he is fast as shit.
He's a ringer.
He is our
He's a ringer.
He's gonna be our first officially sponsored rider.
Yeah. How old is he?
I think he's 15 or 16.
Wow.
Dude, he's not shaving his nuts yet. He's a young boy. He's a young buck.
Yeah. He could be our first rider.
Yeah.
Well, second.
I like him though, man. He wears a cowboy hat and he's got his own style, dude. I like it.
He's our second sponsored rider to be official. We have the European rider that we've been sponsoring for 2 years now.
That's right.
We gotta give you can't take away from Hans Jobe. Yeah.
Of course, I forgot about
him.
Yeah. That's international. That's
yeah.
Danny Redmags, he'll be our first US rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, man, I am so excited about bringing our guest. He's one of a kind, man. One of a kind. Got a lot to talk about. I'm sure you guys have questions. I know I have some questions and some statements. Can't wait to bring him in. JV, are you ready for him?
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Yep, I know EC's ready because of all his prep work. I know EC's ready.
So much prep work. I found out maybe 10 minutes before I got on here when I looked at the link.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the link that JV didn't get?
That's right. That's the one.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't.
Hey, mark your calendars. First time.
Let's see.
Not the first time I lost a bet, but the first time I lost JV. God dang it.
Shot at JV.
Yeah, you did. You were
EC is not known for his starts, by the way. Not known for his starts. Oh,
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
He's still working on it.
There's the bouncing little dots.
Still working on it.
DY, can you hear us?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
He's looking for the audio button.
Yeah. It's on the bottom.
It's on the bottom.
What
He's pointing down. No.
DY, just no. Say something so we can hear you.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Wiggle.
So wait, it's his
Dude,
mic.
we might have to do the Kung Fu movie voiceover. Oh no, look. I can see her look at her on the side. It's either his wife or he hired some teenager to help him.
It's tech.
It's tech, yeah. Dude, we have had some fantastic tech help, haven't we?
The Geek
Bottom,
Squad.
it would be
the Geek
bottom
Squad
left.
coming in.
Try the bottom left.
Dude, we need to have white cards where you hold them up.
I know,
Try
exactly.
bottom left.
We should have they should just be pit boards.
Pit boards, yeah, pit boards.
We need pit boards, bro.
Dude, I'm starting right now.
You are, aren't you? He's gonna do it right now.
I would say I'm guessing bottom left. Maybe.
Oh, I love it.
Mike was very happy that we got a container.
How about that?
No. Try bottom left. Dude, you got to put one up that says breathe. You can. You have to. Dude, right now, yes.
This is so good.
Get it up there.
Hold on.
Get it up there.
Dude, I can do this all day long.
This is the podcast. This is the podcast. And all we're going to do is film his reaction.
We're going to need, this is great. but people are gonna need to watch it on YouTube rather than listen to it. They won't get it. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, EC said it. Gear pants are gay. So we'll
There we go. No, oh, he
No.
thought he had it right
Almost. You
there.
almost had it.
Here, let me
Yep.
try something.
You almost had it.
Is it
I don't think I ever rode gear pants. Did you ever ride gear pants? You did, right, Schwinn?
We
You
all
did?
did.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
DY, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. I'm still holding up the signs.
That's right.
Okay. That works.
Oh man, our special guest, dude, a friend of ours, someone we love and admire. I will argue, it's not even an argument. The greatest rider from the state of Oregon, Daryl Young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Dude,
Welcome.
to the Dirty Knobs, man. DY, before we start, we're gonna ask JV to give us the bio on you as he does. And it all starts with this.
Oh, we lost him.
It doesn't matter. Tell him, JV.
Okay. All right, let's see what I got. Let's see what I got on Daryl. Let's start with the original Mr. Smooth. I don't think we can argue about that.
Whoa.
What?
What do you mean? Who could you argue against that? Who was smoother than DY before DY?
No,
EC, is there anyone you could think of that was?
It's not even close, dude. I don't know if he can hear us right now.
No.
There.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, DY, don't touch any buttons.
Okay.
Scoot back. Just put your hands.
Buddy.
Yeah. Put your gloves on. Put your wrist wraps on, and don't touch anything.
Oh,
All right, so we're gonna.
I can't think of anybody.
I can.
Oh.
But I'm older than you guys.
Before DY.
Before DY, there was one guy that was super smooth.
David Clinton.
Yeah, maybe, but you know what,
but
man?
who knows? You know how smooth you have to be with mags and shops.
Oh God.
All right, and then maybe you could argue maybe John George, which I know you guys never saw him race. Another guy who was super smooth. But if you go from whatever this kid starts to the day he ends, which isn't yet, and JV and I will talk about that. Nobody smoother.
The thing about well, here's the thing about the two guys that you mentioned, right? Like the guys that you named, Hollywood.
David Clinton, John George, smooth with coaster brakes.
Yeah, that's saying something,
man.
right?
That's saying a lot.
But
Saying a lot.
But no, dude, the style.
I know, with style.
It wasn't just smooth, dude. It wasn't just smooth. It was also style king.
Yeah.
Right. So like the power wheelies, the feet placement, a little bit of shoulder action, the not overly crossed up, just the right amount. Nobody was even close.
Dude, I have something to say about that later on. I'll come back to that. I have something very important to say about that.
So you asked me, I say nobody.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna get thicker, brother. It's gonna get a lot thicker,
We're gonna pour it on right now.
Yeah. Here comes. Tell him, JV.
All right, coming out of Clackamas, Oregon. I mean, if that's even a real place. Started in 79. Hey, Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong here. Started in 79, but was really competitive, probably around 81 to 88, and then 91 to 94.
Okay, I'll correct you.
Okay, go.
Started in 79, won my first, almost tripled at my first national after 3 months.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get close to that. As an amateur, Bob's Bikes actually listed the GT support team in his Wicca. Yep. Riverside, Redlands, Schwinn, and then in 81, started race for JMC, which I think a lot of people probably recognize you the most as.
Yeah.
As a pro from 84 to 85, you're on JMC. Then you raced for the Bike Gallery in 85. Quickly went to Kuahara and raced with them for a year. Went back to the Bike Gallery and Excalibur in 86.
Yeah.
You raced for first class BMX.
Yeah, the mail order.
In 87. Yeah. I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys know this. In 88, raced for Titan.
Yep.
Did you guys know that? Okay.
On a mini.
I remember that on a mini.
I didn't remember that. I
do remember. I remember DY racing on the Titan. Yeah.
Man, Oregon Elf in 90, raced for Northwest Caston. 91, 92, Quicksilver Bomber. 92 to 99, SE. And then a few other sprinkled after that. But then even it says Supercross. You raced for Supercross for a little bit. Yep. Your first race ever, you got first place as a 13 novice.
Excellent.
All right. Wait, but then it said, is that true? Because then it says your first national, you got a first place as a 13X. So in that same year, your first race, you won. But then in that same year, you turned X and you won your first national as an expert. I mean, that's pretty good.
Didn't just win the first national.
Yeah.
Well, I turned expert after my first 2 races because they started calling me a cherry picker. So I moved up to expert. And then all my friends we were just razzing you. You didn't have to do that.
And then what happened at your first national?
Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, look at you.
Cherry picker.
Also won we talked about this the last time, how big trophy dash is, where you won the trophy dash, even that same race.
Yep.
Who'd you beat?
Beat Richie in the mud. First time I ever raced him. And I got third in 13-14 Open, which was, they had just made that class. And I got third behind my bike shop teammate, Mike Kane, and Lee Medlin. And I beat Eddie King and Ronnie Anderson.
Dude, those are heavy hitters.
Wow.
Dude, in your first, well, I won't say your first year, in your first months of racing.
Yeah, blew up.
That's crazy.
Where was the race at?
Swan Creek. It was Gary Ellis and Marty Enat's home track. Like, you could see Ellis's house from the track. It was up the hill. Yeah.
Wow.
Goodness, dude.
Yeah.
In the rain, in the mud. It was a really cool track because it was built over, more than half of it was built over it was like a swamp. They brought in cement and stuff and covered up, because if you walked out the edge of the track on one side, there was a swamp. And so whenever it rained, it drained really good, and it was a really good mud track. It just stayed kind of wet. You still had some grip.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, you had some grip.
Yeah, and you
had grip.
And you beat Richie in that race.
Yes, in the trophy
awesome.
dash. Him and Jeff Rutherford.
Dude,
Wow.
Dude, I know.
How tripping balls were they?
I don't know, but I know I was just happy to take trophies home. I was like, this is cool. I like this sport.
Boy, I like BMX.
Winning is fun.
Yes, it is.
At that point, you might not even have really knew who Richie was, right? Because you were like so new to it. You didn't know Richie had this.
I knew he was one of the top kids in his class, because I was always checking out the magazines. I was, one of those little magazine dogs, checking out all the pictures and being very scrutinizing over him. But I knew who he was, but I was so new to it. I just was focused on what I was doing. Like where you didn't, I was so new. I didn't even know to be intimidated. I just knew that it was raining. Just don't miss your moto and try and make it to the main event. And when you get the main, you try and win.
I love it.
Just
pretty simple.
Man, there's a message and a lesson in there.
Yeah.
There is, really, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Boy. Yeah, kids, stay out of your head. You'll do better.
Yeah.
No brains, no headaches.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Tell him, JV, what else you got?
All right, turn pro at 18. Your first national as an A pro, guess what? First place at the Mile High Nationals, won a whopping $240. And then first race as a double A pro, Mike, you want to guess what place you got?
First place.
8th. Won $30. We're $30 that race.
Woo! I was living the dream. That's right.
Amongst some accolades here, 81, 82, you were 15, roughly 15, and then 16 years old. You won the Northwest Gold Cup. You won the Utah State Champion. You were Utah State Champion, Jag World Championship, but you were on a cruiser. I am.
I love that JV had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Not hey, you were on a cruiser. It was but you were on a cruiser. Eddie King, that's your fault.
That's right.
It is totally
Yeah.
Eddie King's fault.
Thanks, Eddie.
You've got a lot of accolades here. 15x world champion, 1990 to 1993 to 93 Canadian amateur, the CABA Grand National champion. 90 in 90 you were pro. Here you go. In 90 you were pro cruiser champion. No, I'm sorry, pro cruiser national number 3. In 91 pro cruiser national number 3. 92 pro cruiser national number 1. And then 93 you're pro cruiser number 2. Yep. All great, but cruiser doesn't count, so you can probably take all of those away. Good, but a very good race. But look, you're still very good, Daryl.
I count them DY. You count them, bro.
Yeah.
I like the JV. I'm just saying. I'm saying according to Eddie.
I just like the JV says, well, you're still meh. You're pretty good. Meh.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I was at those races, dude, and I was cheering you on, bro. So that's all that matters.
Well,
and then retired due to this is very interesting if it's true. Retired due to an injury sustained in a state championship race where you tangled with a local pro who was also coincidentally your friend, Glenn Cook, and then you broke your hip. That's what it says. The cause of your retirement, or at least the beginning of your retirement.
Yeah, that was about a year off.
Okay.
So. And then you forget, well, it didn't hurt that bad, and you go back racing. Because when it happened, I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. This really hurts.
Yeah.
And being in the hospital.
And then, of course,
whoa, hold on. Yeah. Let's get back. Let's come back to that. You were in the hospital.
Well, yeah, you break your hip, they have to knock
you
you
got to
out.
go to the hospital.
You do? I didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody if somebody knew how to put it back in, it ain't like the shoulder. It don't end well.
Well, Woodward, we just sent him to the nurse. You're fine.
Yeah.
To the nurse.
Broken and dislocated hip stuff takes
That's a lot of Bengay. It's a lot of Bengay to get through that.
That's it.
Huh, JV?
Hold shit together and get on top and pull with towels, and it's hard to get hips back in.
Anyway, go ahead, JV. You got a big one coming.
Okay, you had a JMC named after you, which I think we all know. You were Terrible 10 in 1983, which is a big one for us. We love the Terrible 10.
The original.
And then the original, right?
That was the original Terrible 10.
That's right, the original Terrible 10.
I think that you knocked out Judge Ciencio. That's what EC told me anyway.
It's a running joke, DY. It's a running joke.
and then class of 2003 Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry, what was that last part, JV?
Class of 2003 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man, that's huge.
That is huge. So you save that one for the end. But yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Pretty good.
A lot of stuff.
And that Wikipedia needs to be updated and allude to your style as well, man.
Yeah, it should.
Because it just shows stats. It doesn't talk it doesn't talk about poetry in motion.
And I wanted to mention this. It was that when I go through and I look at the pictures, I'm a fan. I am a fan. Yeah. I'm a fan of your writing style, and it's very moto. I always thought that. But when I go back and I look at, if you go to Google and you put in Darrell Young BMX, there's a lot of stylish pictures. But the part I love the most is, dude, most of those most stylish pictures, they're in the middle of a race.
That's right.
Dude, and that's the part I love the most.
Yeah.
Well, jumping, throwing it sideways, you know by his style that the turn is going to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just amazes me. It's just so, oh my gosh. That's why I've always been a fan. And I've not been secretive about it. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
yeah. Well, because it's, because and as the time was going on, as the years that Darrell was racing, it became less and less about moto style and jumping, right? And it was more about staying low, pedaling, going faster.
Yep.
And it was almost like Darrell, I don't know. It always looked to me like when you're racing was like, dude, I don't care if I lose a quarter of a second or whatever I'm gonna lose. I'm boosting. I gotta get to bar sideways, dude, or I'm not gonna be able to keep doing this sport because it ain't that fun otherwise.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely right, man.
That's what I got when I watched you. I was like, dude, he had to do that.
Thanks, man.
Always looked like he was having fun out on the track, riding his bike.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, the power wheelies out of the turns, kind of like what I could see in my brain, coming out of the turn, just power wheeling right out.
Yeah,
Had
dude,
to.
there was a lot of things, man. Like
Yeah.
the what you used to run those Carlisle tires? Were they Carlisles?
Oh yeah, I ran those until they were like, long gone. I ran
Yeah,
them probably because I remember Stu Thompson going, dude, you're still running one of those?
yeah,
And that was
Yeah,
in like 84.
the 4-pound front tire.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
then,
when you're in Oregon, it rains every other day. It's you got to.
exactly. See, that was indoor tracks. We had tracks with traction, and you needed tires.
And you had you were the longest guy. I remember running the square pedals.
Mm-hmm.
You ran square pedals way past when a lot of other people weren't running them.
Oh yeah, I ran the Skyways. I broke those, so I went back to the square pedals. And then I remember I tried some Hutch I didn't like them because they were too narrow, so I went back to square pedals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what it was. They worked with Vans. It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dude, I noticed all that shit, dude. Chrome rims. Dude,
Heck yeah, all the old stuff.
I was checking
Multicolored chain. Yeah.
Well, I got one. I gotta ask you about.
I know.
Yeah, you know where it's going. Yep. It was you and I that did it first. We tried it. We tested it together. The Browning 2-speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that was there's nobody else that mastered it like the way you did.
I had no choice.
Well, tell us how that happened. What happened there?
I thought it was really cool. I remember, you rode it some. We tested it. The Browning himself stopped by my house with a bike and had it on there, and me and some of my high school friends got to ride it. And when he left, we were all three looking at each other like, "What the hell was that? That was amazing!" It's like literally an automatic transmission, like in a car. It just was. You're in the easy gear, and it just was smoothly went into the next gear. And I was like, "Yeah, that's really cool." Man,
It was cheating. It was cheating.
It kind of was. On certain tracks, it definitely was. And then some tracks you wouldn't use it at all, except for okay, the 84 ABA Grands had that huge starting hill.
Yeah,
I couldn't use it because that first pedal and everybody was just gone. But that last little off camber flat turn before the finish, I used it there. I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times and got guys just zip, 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 catch them right at the line.
Wow.
And yeah. So some places, and then places with like really flat gates. Oh yeah, just wait for the gate fall and take off. You already had the advantage.
Big advantage, but even still, even the advantage, it was that you knew how to use it. And I'm surprised more people. On one hand, I'm surprised that more people didn't catch on to it, but I see the complication of not knowing how to use it well. And man, you certainly did.
Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, if you had if you have a Daryl Young frame and you build it up as a retro bike, you have to have a Browning 2-speed on it.
Yeah, you kind of do, don't you? I guess.
Yeah.
and
I'll come back to that.
Hey, some of our listeners, I mean, I know most of our listeners are throwback guys, but the way that thing worked, right? Wasn't that a shared quarter piece of the chain ring that would cross over? Isn't that how that worked?
Yeah, it had the outer ring had a pie cut in it, and it had a little groove module on the seat post. So depending where the little track was, it would kick it out or in.
Yeah.
And if you're on the little gear and once you let it out, it would roll it up to the big gear. It'd hit the track, it would flip over, and it was just smooth. It never jumped. You could be under full power and it wouldn't do like the mountain bike thing where we would, like in slalom where you would click your shifter and then out of the gate you'd have to pedal just right and it would shift, but every once in a while it'd hang up on you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do that. It was just smooth. It was literally like in a car.
All you felt was more resistance, no change.
Yeah,
it was so smooth.
Wow.
Because because in what you're talking about, Daryl, in the back, mountain bike shifts across the cluster in the back, and so that's why, right? Like, so it's actually literally dragging across other teeth, and those teeth have to be shaped a certain way to reduce the friction and to create ramps. Whereas
this was a ramp. It was
like a train track that they just move the train tracks over and the train goes to the other lane.
And it just ramped up so smooth. It was perfect.
I loved them, dude. I mean, I got to, jump on a bike or two with them. Bacchus ran those things.
Yeah.
And
who was that?
Chris Bacchus used to run those things. But you know what, man? It always seemed like his was adjusted wrong or something, because that dude was always coasting around the second half of the track with that thing. Because he couldn't keep that thing on. So, and I don't ever remember you having major issues with it. So I don't know if you had that.
I did one time. It was after JMC went out of business. I went to the Murray World Cup all by myself. I'm in the semi. I'm in lane 8 at Nashville, and Tomac's in lane 7, and I'm like, I got to get out on him. And I got to over the first roller, we were dead even, and then got to that second big like wedge jump where it was like kind of steep with a long outrun.
Yeah.
And I pulled up and I started to speed on, and all of a sudden I feel nothing. My chain flew off my back sprocket and I just wadded. My bike went way down the track. I tumbled. I was so mad because as an A pro, that was a $2,000 first place at that race. And I was just, I was bummed. I just watched them go around the track and I was just like, I ran this thing for like 2 years now, and now it gives me a problem.
When I need it the most.
Yeah, when I need it the most.
That would have been a great day. That would have been a really good track for that.
I was just gonna say that because of the long first straight, right?
Yeah, the flattest of all gates.
Yep.
Dude, you could throw your back out coming out of that gate.
Oh, that gate was flat.
You could use a third gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could have used it seriously on that track. You could use a third gear.
Yeah, that's
so
you know what? And we all know, thanks to JV, what 8th place paid. It's like $30 or something ridiculous. God dang.
Well, they made a mountain bike one that had 3 rings in the front, and it had a little electronic box that controlled it. And the problem they had with that was with mountain biking, stuff gets wet, and they were having a hard time trying to conceal it and make it.
You want to know what's wild about that, DY? Like that is, I didn't know that. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they made a triple front ring, and I didn't know they did it under electrics.
Yeah.
Right now, that is where the mountain bike world is going. Now everything is
fly by wire.
Yeah, man. But like, think about how. I mean, dude, what is that? 20 more.
30, 35,
35 years, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because that was they debuted it at the Anaheim Bike Show in 85 or 86. Well, that triple one.
Just the fact that it was the Anaheim Bike Show, right? That it wasn't the one in Vegas, man. That's crazy, dude. I had no idea that they did an electric one, man. And I don't who was Browning? What was their background?
Shotguns. It's the actual the great grandson of the Browning shotgun maker. Yeah, they were arms makers.
So
wow.
So why bicycle chain? Were they BMX enthusiasts? They have kids or what?
No, I swear, as far as I know, he did not. And I know when he showed my house, he was you're the great grandson. Well, nice to meet you and everything. And even I was like, well, how I still to this day, I don't know how he came up with that. Maybe he was just looking at a bike. Maybe he rode 10 speeds or something. And just, I wonder if you can make it shift smoother. But yeah, you know, he showed up in a suit. He was a full businessman. And when my dad was like, he was like, Browning, like in the shotguns? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, huh. You know, everybody was always perplexed by that. Like, how do you go from shotguns to BMX bike parts?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never knew the backstory of who that was, where they came from, and I never really saw like a big booth setup or anything like that. It was always just, you know, it almost was like you had a buddy that dabbled in that stuff and you ran that. I never really saw it on a bunch of bikes. I never saw a bunch of production of them.
It was so expensive, you know, $250 for that setup. That ain't cheap in 1980 money. And,
Right.
And you know, they made it what, like a couple of years there, and then that was it. Didn't see him anymore. So
do you know if they patented that stuff?
Oh yeah, patent numbers right on it.
Wow.
Yeah, he definitely had it down. But the one thing I was always pushing for was there any way that they could make it so you could change the gears?
Yeah.
Like if they could make it so you could at least change like that inner gear, because the first one they gave me wasn't like the prototype that I rode. The prototype was a 42-45, which is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And then I got the first production prototype one, and it had a 36-44.
Yeah.
And that 36 ran out quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I kept pushing, and then we went round and round. He said, well, okay, we'll move it up to a 38. I wanted a 40, but I was like, okay, I'll work with it.
36 to 44 is a massive gap.
Big. Yeah.
Versus a 42 to a 45.
It's a one pedal out of the gate. That's it.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
So it was actually probably slower, right? Because the transition between the 36 to the 44 actually would bog you down.
Not really, which is amazing. Yeah, it was just so smooth. But what got you was just that first pedal wasn't popping you out of the gate like you're wanting to pop out of the gate.
If you think about it, when it's ramping up, it's going from 32, 33, 34, 35 because of the smooth ramp up. So it's a transition that it went from one to the larger, naturally progressing. So it wasn't the slam click, you're in another gear.
That makes sense because it's actually, well, now they measure them in decimals, right? They don't measure them in teeth, they measure them in the size of the chain wheel. I believe that's what they're doing in BMX now. So what you're saying,
they do it in inches, inches on your rollout.
Yeah. And so as you're going up the ramp and getting farther on that cutout pie, you're actually increasing the diameter of the wheel to the full chainring. Wow. Okay. That makes sense.
But you couldn't change the gear ratio. Like you got what you got.
You would have had to put a flip flop on and go to a 14 or a 15.
Yeah.
Or a 17, or you know.
Oh, God! You had to change it back.
Yeah, you couldn't open up your pit kit, your John Cruz pit kit, and get your extra sprocket out and stick it on there. It didn't work. It didn't work that way.
How about the flip flop? DY brought up the flip flop.
Dude, the flip flop.
The flip flop.
Did you guys ever use a 15 or 14 on the back ever?
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Yep. Yeah, we tried that 40-14 stuff and
Kenny Battle with the 40-16. No.
We tried that.
Dude, Kenny Battle. I haven't heard that name in years. That dude could spin.
Dude, he didn't use a flip flop. He just used the small gear in the front. He forgot to flip the hub. He just used the 39 and the 40. This guy that we raced, he raced 39-16 and 40-16. And the 40-16 was his downhill gear.
Yeah.
No one better, though. No one better at running easy gears than that.
Wow.
Well, DY, I was going to say this. You know, one of the reasons I always thought you were smooth, I thought it was because you ran a taller gear. Like David Milham was smooth. He ran a tall gear. There's a few guys that ran big gears that run smooth. But then I realized, no, DY just is, Daryl, you're just smooth. I don't care what gear you put on. You just rode like you had a big gear. It was just your style of riding.
Well, in the beginning, I did, you know, like the first year I raced, I ran a 46, and I ran 46 for like a good year or so. And then when I got on JMC, I started messing with running 47s, 48s.
47, 48, 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my lower
God.
back.
Well, they did that last Corona race. And so I put a 48 on because I'm going to Corona. I need a big gear. And then when I came home, I went to my local track and I just left it on. I was like, this isn't that bad, you know?
Yeah.
As long as
Beating
you
Chris
keep rolling,
Backus and his chain falling off. Yeah, it was not that bad. Yeah.
you keep it rolling. But then as I got older as an amateur, I found my spot was a 45-16 roughly. That was my spot. Indoor, I'd go to a 43.
Those doubles out of the first turn at Clackamas were pretty good with the 48, huh?
Oh, they're awesome. Take 3 pedals and just jump.
And not just jump and cross it up, going left, crossing it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so good.
Those were no
Hey,
joke, those doubles, man.
You know, I was thinking about this. When I was searching through photos. Harry Larry got the cover on JMC,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody got more covers on JMC than you did.
I never thought of that.
I did. I was checking it out. There were a lot of cover photos, and you got a lot of press for more than any other rider. You got more press for JMC.
Huh.
Yep. It wasn't just the DUI frame. It was also, all the coverage you got for. You were in Super BMX with some girl from, I don't know,
One of the
General.
shows. One of the
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I felt so lucky because when I showed up, I was just like, man, Richie got the chick with glasses from Give Me a Break or whatever. And this gal walks in the door and I'm like, holy moly, that's a chick off the soap opera. And I knew that because the girls I hung out with at the time. And so that was even bigger when that came out, that magazine came out, half the school, almost every chick in the school, oh, can I see that? What was she like?
No way.
He's
Hey,
one of
I
my
hate to say it.
favorites. All of
You-
a sudden I was this pseudo celebrity, but all they wanted to know was what she was like.
Yeah. I was going to say you were the second most popular person in that picture.
Oh man, yeah, she was very attractive. And what kills me is she came in the door with her son. She had like a 7-month-old baby. And I'm looking at her. I remember Jim looking at her and wow, that's quite the turnaround. Because she didn't look like somebody who'd had a kid.
It's quite the turnaround.
Hello, mother.
I love it.
Oh, and the lady that took the photo was she was the gal that did the Van Halen album covers and inside stuff. Because when I was there was all these Jack Daniel bottles along this glass wall that she had. I mean, there was like 70 something bottles up there and they're all empty. And I'm like, wow, you guys must have had some kind of party here. And oh yeah, it was for the Van Halen. I think it was, God, it would have been Diver Down, I think.
Wow.
What's the name of her podcast?
I have no idea. I just remember she was this nice little lady that had glasses, looked like she could have been a seamstress on the side as well, but apparently she took really good photos of rock stars and stuff because she was right down the street from the Capitol Records building.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that was a fun one.
That whole thing was kind of interesting, right? That strategy of getting the pictures with the celebrities.
Yeah.
So-called celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, but they were like from shows I guess we all watched, right?
Well, John Stamos was on there.
Oh yeah. Blackie. He played
Yeah.
Blackie on what was it, One Life to Live or one of those.
You're right, JV. It was interesting.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know if it resonated with BMXers.
I don't know either. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Well, I
mean,
didn't watch. Unlike Daryl, I didn't watch Days of Our Lives.
No.
So I don't really. I can't speak on
You
it.
don't know what you're missing. It's a quality program.
I love it. I love it.
DY, I got to ask you something specifically about. Tell me about your time with RRS.
Oh man. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That was a whirlwind. Okay, so I show up at Anaheim for that indoor concrete race.
No,
And
so hold on. It was a race at the Anaheim Convention Center, which is
Yeah.
a tiny building, and they built a BMX track on the concrete in a tiny indoor building. So don't think of it like you see pictures of Indianapolis at the World Championships with these
Right.
giant jumps, and it was not like that. It was very small.
Like a hockey, it was like a hockey or a basketball arena.
Well,
I would say it's like a marble arena or maybe 6 or 7 phone booths locked together. It was small. I'm talking
they only
small.
built the track on half of it because remember the other half of the floor was for the BMX trick show.
That's right.
Oh, that's
Jim Pratt
right.
jumping them cars.
Jumping Jim Pratt.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 jumps. What was it? A wedge, like just a peaked first jump, and then a few turns and a tabletop, and the finish.
That was it.
That's
It was short and sweet. And I showed up there. I raced Saturday and was qualifying, and then did the BMX show that night, watching and stuff. And I'm talking to Jeff Rutherford, and he's like, "Dude, what's GT doing for you?" "Well, nothing." "And I think I could get you on RRS." I'm like, okay. So we went and talked to Craig, and yeah, sure, we'll bring you a bike tomorrow in a Jersey. I'm like, okay, well, now I got to go do the hard part. I had to go talk to Rich Long and say, hey, thanks for everything you've done, but I'm going to go ride for these guys. And of course, he told me, well, I think you're making a mistake. And he might have been right, but,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rich Long, owner of GT Bicycles, which went on to be a huge conglomerate.
Yeah.
I'm going to quit you and go to race for RRS, which was Riverside, Redland, Schwinn, basically 2 bike shops and a couple of guys making some custom frames. Thanks, Jeff Rutherford.
Yeah. So then,
but Daryl, you were on the support team at that time for GT.
Yeah, I got like, what did I do? I was on support GT when I beat Richie at Grass Valley, but I wasn't wearing their jersey because I was still wearing my bike shop jersey.
Okay.
But then after that, I did some other races, did, so here and there, but it just seemed like I wasn't going to be getting bumped up to the factory team anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
What bike shop was that?
What bike shop?
You said you were wearing your bike shop jersey.
Bob's Bike Shop. My first sponsor.
Yep.
So,
and then
one of the things.
All I know is when you came on to RRS, which was early on in the whole RRS career, we were like, wow, Daryl Young on RRS. I mean, to us, you already had a name. And it was like, wow, that kid is so smooth. You made that. Besides Jeff Rutherford, no one else made that, in my opinion. As a former Riverside Schwinn rider, nobody else besides you and Jeff Rutherford ever made that bike look good.
Oh, it was a fun bike to ride. I liked it. Yeah, see, I liked it because it was built after a Delta Pro, and I like Delta Pros.
It was a DRP. It was basically a DRP with an eccentric bottom bracket. And I know I'm going ahead of a lot of people, but it was a super steep head angle, super short rear end, and it was. I take that back. There was one other rider, Danny Davidow, rode that bike well.
Yep.
By the way, who went into the Hall of Fame at the same time you did.
Yep.
That's cool.
You guys rode the same bike, and Jeff Rutherford was a little kid. He was maybe 10, 11X. You and the Davidows rode that bike great. And I don't know why, because it was such an odd geometry frame that you could ride well. But I'll say this. I think you put a set of cranksets on a shopping cart and Daryl Young's going to ride it awesome. I don't think it's going to matter what you ride, by the way. I just don't.
Thanks, my brother.
Well, I just don't. And JV will talk. JV and I will talk about this later about what we saw you do. So it doesn't.
I thought those RS bikes were awesome, man. I loved all the tech that was with them.
Oh yeah.
They also had
cantilever brakes
as well, right?
Yep.
They had
Cantilever brake, 10-speed head tube and headset. Yeah, it was light. It rode good for me at the time, but granted, I give you couple years later, I probably wouldn't have rode it so good because it was kind of on that small, little loopy, but but at the time, yeah, it was. I loved it. It
was a
ripped.
good bike for it. It was a good bike for Anaheim Convention Center.
Oh man.
Full shots and turn sharp on ultimate grip because you had fan belt dressing on your tires and hairspray. Oh man.
Yep. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, I'll never forget that. All I remember was get the start, Daryl. This is your first factory ride. Get the start. Pistol ain't gonna cut you no slack.
And you did.
Dude, that was a stacked class, man. That was a stacked group that you guys raced.
I got to say this, that was my really first really studying Daryl Young. And then later on, I found out, dude, how did you become a Riverside local? Dude, I mean, Daryl became in our hometown. There was this guy in Oregon. He was really one of our local riders. How did that happen?
It happened because,
hang on, EC.
What I remember is I came down
in
December to get points. I was chasing my district #1, and you had a whole bunch of double pointers and whatever going on. And my mom drove me down, and yeah, by the time I left, I felt like I was a local. And then I'd see people at the races, and they're like, "Where you been?" It's like, "Well, I've been at home." "What do you mean? You live in Oregon?" "Oh, I thought you were from Riverside."
Dude, he came and rode all our local trails. He did all the off BMX stuff, like riding up Mount Rubidoux, hanging out with Russ LeBaron, doing all the stuff, eating tacos with us. He was really was one of us. He would make fun of other kids. He did all the stuff, throw acorns at cars and oranges at cars. He was just one of us, man. And then when we got to watch him ride at Jones Track, our local track, to watch him ride, it was like, wow.
I always thought it was cool. You guys had a track. I was so jealous. I was like, man, because every time I tried to build like some dirt lot track, it just got stomped, leveled, done. You maybe got to ride there a week. You guys had that track for a while.
Yeah, it was nice to have Donnie Garrettson, bless his heart. Donnie Garrettson's dad, we called him Kingfish. He had backhoes, and we had a piece of land right next to his house, and we would build these supercross tracks, and way ahead of their time, and we were lucky to have those, and even more lucky to have guys like Daryl come out and ride them super smooth, and we're like, wow, that's how you can do it. And the local kid, EC, like your backyard, very much so, way ahead of its time.
Yep. Yeah. I rode EC's backyard and he wasn't even home. I knocked on the door because I came down. Another time I came down to California and to drop a car off to somebody and pick up another car. And I'm like, well, I'm not that far from Russ's house. So I went and spent the night. And the next day, hey, we should go to EC's house. Yeah. So we show up and Mrs. Carter's like, oh, hey, how you guys doing? And, hey, EC? No, I forget where the hell you were at. Well, hey, can we ride the backyard? Oh, sure. So we went out and rode the backyard, and I didn't have a bike, so I rode Russ's cruiser, and I shredded the shit out of that backyard. And he's like, dude, ain't nobody shredded on a cruiser out here like that. Exactly, and I was just like, God, no wonder he's so fast. I gotta get me a track. I left the whole 1,000 miles back home. Man, I gotta find a spot to build me a track like that.
Yeah, it was a good zone, man. We had a lot of zones, right? It was Twin Palms, and then Jones Track. My backyard was a little later, 6th Street. There was a lot of, a good day for us was we would usually start at my house and ride there for a little bit, and then we'd migrate down the hill, down Beacon Hill, down over to Russ's house, and then hang out there for a bit. Then we'd go across the street to 6th Street. And we'd migrate around the peak over to Jones Track and Twin Palms, and we'd end up at Q Tortas eating tacos.
Awesome.
Best days, dude.
Big shout out to Russ LeBaron, who was the unofficial BMX ambassador to Riverside, and I'd say the unofficial. How would you put it, EC? The unofficial verbal child abuser.
He was the the ruthless insulter of under 18-year-olds.
Heaven,
Oh, come on.
heaven forbid you showed up and your pads didn't match or your sticker was crooked. I mean, he would berate these kids like nobody's business.
Now, come
And-
on. He was the king of enlightenment. That's all he was doing. He was just helping them along, you know?
He was just helping them along. That's what the funny thing is, man, my kids, they laugh at me because every once in a while, somebody will lip off at you and you lip off back. And I always come up with stuff super fast, just boom. And they always look at me like, Dad, how do you do that? And I'm like, you have no idea who I grew up with.
No. How to take it just one step to the next level, and bam! Thank you, Wrestler Baron.
Yeah, like, that's what we did all day, every day, all the time.
Dude,
So he was helping people along, DY. He was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was building strength from within.
That's right.
Dude, if you could stand up to his abuse, you're fine. You can make it in politics now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Russ's words were the gnarliest, man. He just would go. Everybody would be going along, and then he would kind of get to a point where he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. And he would just take it to he'd turn the volume up to 11, and you were
Dude,
like,
and it was not a Browning ramp up.
no,
It was not a smooth ramp up.
Nah.
It went to your stickers are crooked to, I think you're beep, and I stuck my beep eye hole. No, I'm going to have to edit this out, obviously, or Mrs. Carter's going to get on us again.
But you're not far off the truth.
No.
No, not far.
No.
That's about right where Russ was.
God bless him. I mean, to make me go, oof, ooh.
Exactly.
Like, wow. God bless him. All right.
Those were good days.
Back into the real world.
Dude, those were
Back to
good.
what we can really talk about.
Hey, those were good days, man. Those were good,
Yes.
fun.
Dude, it was 105 outside, and we would do just lap after lap after lap.
I
Riding.
wonder, but we would also ride between the spots, right? It wasn't just, I mean, sometimes we'd load up, but often we would ride between one spot to the next.
Dude, those are road miles.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if in this day and age, they do have their dropper post. So I wonder if they raise their dropper.
They
post
also
up,
have Uber.
and they ride between and they
True.
ride their dragsters between jump spots. I don't think so.
I think their moms take them, or their girlfriends take them.
Did you hear the Russ? The Russ oozed out of Hollywood right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their mom, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, is that your mom?
Yeah, no.
and that's all that you would say. That's all you would say. Is that your mom? And then it was hooked to 2 wires to the thing, and so good. DY, you were an absolute Riverside local, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun there. I liked living down there for that time that I did. I liked the fun part I remember was going to Jones Track at 10 in the morning when nobody was there but Stuart. And I'd ride with Stuart. I got to do that a few times. And that was like awesome.
Yeah, by 10, I'd ridden there 2 hours and then went and had breakfast.
Oh. Okay, I'll
Hey,
let
hey, speaking of Riverside, I don't know if this is you might have to correct me here, but Doug Bailey, our buddy there from Portland, said
yeah, the mayor of Lake Oswego.
he is the mayor.
He is the mayor of Lake Oswego.
He sent me a text because I told him we were going to talk to you, and he said that you sheared off your head tube at Riverside at the doubles on Riverside on the jump there. You hurt your spleen, but he thinks that after that, Jim Melton asked you to design a bike. Something about designing. That's how the Daryl Young came about. Was that you busted your bike, and then Melton
He's kind
asked
of
you to
close.
design it.
Well, first of all, it's Riverside, Oregon, not Riverside, California.
Oh, Riverside, Oregon. Okay.
Different
Okay.
Riverside.
Gotcha.
Riverside
Gotcha.
Park, right? Wasn't it Riverside Park?
Yeah. It's still there.
Yeah.
No track. It's a bummer.
Oh, okay.
Lots of baseball fields though. But yeah, I came up short, ripped the head tube off, and I put a hole in my kidney. And I spent like a week in the hospital. And which is another weird thing. Every time I go to the hospital and something happens, this was the first time it happened. Middle of the night, they bring a guy in, and I'm like, oh, great, now I got to share a room. And then I look over, oh, geez, he's missing parts. He had a chainsaw accident. So like years later in the 90s, I had another.
Hold on. I think in Oregon, that's not rare.
That's not uncommon.
I think that happens a lot in Oregon. Come on, chainsaw accident. Come on. But it cut right through my flannel shirt. I mean, it was, come on.
So years later, I have another accident where I got one of those really sharp pedals I used to run with the Razorbacks on them. I slipped my pedal and the guy behind me hit it and drove it in the back of my leg and opened it up to where you could stick a golf ball in there. So I go to get stitches and they're like, oh, we're going to have to hold on here a sec. Just, hold. We got a chainsaw victim coming in. No. This guy.
Wow. Shocker in Oregon.
That's what I'm just like, man. Yeah. So that's usually my experience. I go to the hospital. I'm just, they're going to bring the chainsaw guy in next. But yeah, so the hole in my kidney, I missed some races and that was like 83. So that's where the bike started getting small. And so that September, it wasn't so much the bike broke. It was just, hey, Jim, could I get a bigger bike? We make one longer. And that I definitely needed that because like the original JMC rode good for me because it had the longer rear end. But then when he went to the round tubes, he shortened the rear end. And then as I got taller, that got a little twitchy on the back wheel. So that's the whole Daryl Young thing was just necessity, needing the room because I had finally grew some more. Not as much as, like Ellis and all them 6-foot guys, but yeah.
Well, I got to say, it's amazing to me that there are, when I see these collectible bikes and I see why, some are worth more than others. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why people will pay for Glendo bars. No offense, JV. But when I see, I see certain bikes are worth more and more money, and people will pay through the nose for them. The Daryl Young is always one of the top of the list, man. People love that bike.
I'm amazed by it. I look it up every once in a while. I'm like, holy moly, too rich for my taste. Good thing I got a couple of them.
Imagine your Daryl Youngs.
Yeah,
those would be worth coin, dude. Those would be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I still have DYXP1 and the prototype fork, all with the blue marks from welding and no paint or chrome on it. And then I have a production run Daryl Young frame from '84. Ironically enough, its serial number is 84420.
Oh no way.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened because I wasn't that guy way back then. But
wow.
Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of ironic, but other than that, and then I got my pit bike.
Yeah. Hey, talk about your pit bike a little bit. Then that's a great segue to what JV and I have to talk about.
Yeah, the pit bike. I dragged that out this last summer for that bike show because Sir Doug Bailey has been bugging me for like 2 years. Dude, the pit bike, you can't just let it hang in your garage. You need to bring it out for people to see. And he just kept hammering on me. So finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I didn't realize how long it would take finding all them parts in totes and boxes. And oh, geez, it's an ordeal. But I got it all together and I still had all the original parts. It's a Survivor, got the original plate on it, pads, tires, even the tires and tubes and the tough wheels. I bought those in 1982 at the bike gallery. And when I aired them up for the show, they're still holding air. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, it just hung out there.
Dude, to see that thing in Oregon, JV and I flew up to the B-side bike show because Brad had invited us up there. And so we went and saw the B-side bike show. And one of the highlights for sure was, well, for me, the highlight, well, we'll go back to it. to see your 16-inch JMC in all its glory, exactly the way it was mind blowing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was
It was
one
really
of my
cool.
funnest toys ever.
Yeah,
I was amazed it survived all like my nieces and nephews riding it over the years, because they would always, if they were there, it's like, you got a bike I can ride? Well, there's that little one in the corner, and they tool
Yeah.
around on it and stuff. And then I
That's-
used to jump the doubles at Riverside on it. Those big, like the last time I jumped, they were like 28 feet apart, you know. And I would,
on the 16-inch bike.
yeah,
Oh,
used to have a photo sequence of it somewhere, but a friend lost it, so I have no photo proof of that, which is a bummer because it looks hilarious. Little tiny bike, and I'm just sending it.
And you let every kid in your family just ride that bike everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. The ones that
Sort of like EC letting Jeremy McGrath take his green world championship hutch lake jumping.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even know how he got it, to be honest with you.
That's how
Oh.
much it meant to you that you catch such a grasp on that bike. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that's just how it is though, right? Like, I mean, we didn't look, this whole vintage thing it really wasn't a thing back then, right? Like I took a box, two toolboxes full of vintage BMX parts, brake levers, calipers. I took like 3 or 4 pair of reedy pedals in the toolbox, and I gave them to Ray Rome. I was like, "Hey, dude, somebody might want these. These will be sick." Can you imagine? I built 5 of my hutches and gave them to my sister's kids for Christmas. They're, I have no idea where those are. Like, but they were just bikes to us, dude. We didn't know.
Well,
We didn't know.
I'm surprised that Daryl, you still have the JMCs, you know? Like,
I was kind of that weird kid. I would keep certain stuff, but like he said, I can remember like my friends would roll in, man, I broke this, well, there might be one over in that box.
right.
So there'd go a set of brakes, there'd go a JMC bladed fork, there'd go a wheel, there'd go, but some stuff I did keep over the years, like the Daryl Young stuff. I was like, well, I got to keep something, I mean, that's a part of my life. But but knowing what I know now, there's a whole lot more I would have kept.
Right.
A lot more. I mean,
I think some of that's in Doug Bailey's garage.
Probably.
He's got
like graphite tough wheels. I do still have a pair of reedy pedals though.
Wow.
He probably got them from Ray Rome.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
And I still have crazy stuff. Like one of the things I kept, I have a pair of Array of 7Bs in the paper still.
Oh.
And they're the ones that are they're the old ones from like 76 with the 105 gauge holes in them.
Wow.
So
amazing.
I was thinking about maybe building something with that, like a Suzuki bike or something, but I may just leave them in the paper. Frame them.
Yeah. I think if you want a new Corvette, you trade those for that. Dang.
They're not going for that much yet.
Oh yeah, I think they are.
I think the most I've had anybody offer was $1,000.
So per rim.
No, for the set.
I bet
don't take that from Doug Bailey. They're worth more than that.
I bet your DY bikes would go for more than that.
Oh, I would hope so.
For sure, right?
For sure.
The first prototype? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it ain't going nowhere.
All right. Let's talk about DY for just one more minute. JV and I had an awesome time. We went to Oregon, thanks to Brad at BS Bikes. He brought us up there, and we had a great time with Jason Craig and the mayor. We had an awesome time.
Yeah.
But the highlight for me was right across from the bike show was a BMX track. And they decided they were going to have a vintage BMX race, really kind of.
Like 2 motos or something, 3 motos. Yeah, it was something, but not.
It was their first time doing it. So,
right.
Because the track was nice enough to oblige, which was cool.
On a modern BMX track with a modern gate and modern bikes and whatever. But there was a few people that showed up on vintage bikes, and Daryl showed up on his vintage bike, got in the gate, with his gear pants, by the way.
Yes. He like his original uniform.
I think it's like a tie between him and Savage, Mike Savage, who can fit in their original uniforms. And dude, he shows up. This is the part that got me. Like, I don't know how much practice you rode. I think I borrowed a bike and we rode 2 laps. That's good enough, whatever. But then I was behind the gate and I was right behind Daryl. Somehow in the moto sheets, I had the same lanes as him, so I got to see it 3 times. I got in the gate behind Daryl and he gets up in the gate, and he bounces the back tire and he gets his pedals just set. And I was like, wow, this kind of reminds me of it. And then the gate drops. And dude, the guy hole shotted like it was 1984.
It was amazing.
Tell him, JV.
No, it was amazing to watch because you were behind him, but I was like kind of like in the infield watching it. And I guess the track, if I can remember correctly, there's a small whoop. I guess it's a small jump first, and then you hit almost like
a triple.
Step up into the first turn, right?
Into the first turn.
Darrell jumps into the turn. And we're just like, we were all like, whoa.
Yeah. Hole shots, ride smooth. Not only did he jump the triple into the first turn, but kicked it out to the right, turned the bars to the left. I mean, it was an absolute picture perfect, super smooth. And I will tell you this, my jaw hit the crossbar of my bike. I was like, wow, man. That was like, wow. I could have just stopped right then. That was a moment in time. It was, wow. I was just amazed. Just amazed, Daryl.
Thanks, man.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
God. And in the original uniform, which was a highlight.
Oh.
Gear pants and all. Gear pants are gay.
Oh man!
You know what? You could have finished racing, went and played softball in those pants. It would have been fun.
Yes,
Great transition.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Too fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's like we said, there's nobody comes to mind that's smoother in BMX ever in the entire. No one comes to mind that's more stylish in BMX than Daryl Young, and I think I can speak for my cohorts. Dude, we're fans. We are absolute fans.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fan of all 3 of you. Although I have some questions about JV.
Oh boy.
Very questionable. Well, the fact that he's friends with us too. The fact that he's friends with us too makes him questionable.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. Exactly. I know you two.
DY, thank you so much for being part of the Dirty Knobs. Thanks for coming on, being our not only being our guest, but like I said, being someone that we look up to and just admire for your riding style and the way you are. And dude, as much as I know about you, as much as I've got to know you, and as much as I admire you over the years, you are just to this day the smoothest cat I know.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, my brother.
I agree. Same sentiments, man. I'm thanks for being thanks for being so stylish on the bike, man. And there was you were just a little bit different than everybody else that was trying to race. And not that you weren't trying to race and go fast, you still won races, man, but you did it in a different way than a lot of other people. Like, to me, that picture of you and Charlie over the doubles in Nashville, man, that's one of the most that's like one of the most iconic pictures I've seen in the BMX magazines. It's so colorful. The uniforms are so vibrant. There's so much good contrast. But there's also contrast between you and Charlie, right? Because Charlie's kind of pushing the nose of the bike down. He's trying to get on the ground, and you're on the outside, dude. You're right beside him. So that means you're having a good race. You're drag racing Charlie to the first turn, and dude, you're just whipped out. Your right foot is all the way dude, I don't even know how your ankle could bend the way it bends. That always tripped me out, that you could jump and your feet would do that. But you're just style dogging that thing, dude, into the first turn. And anybody who's raced there knows how fast you're going when you hit that thing, man. And it just it was super cool for us. Like, you know, I'm a couple of years younger than you, and it was super cool for us as young guys watching you know, because everything was always like, go fast, pedal, speed jump, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, dude, we want to have fun too. And it's like, see, you can go fast and you can style, right? Like, so I always loved that, dude. And I always watched your races. I always would like make a point to watch because I wanted to see how you would interpret the track and the little style things that you would do, man. It was so thank you so much, man. And like Mike said, for being a cool cat, dude, because that style of riding and that cool, smooth, flowy style, that's who you are off the track too, dude. Easy,
absolutely.
Yellow cat, so good, man.
Well, Cullinan one time told me when it came to my racing, he goes, dude, when it comes to you, there's no sacrifice for style.
That's right. That's true.
And he would always tell me that. And I guess that's just the way I did it. I didn't know any other way, you know, but I mean, like you said, yeah, I could probably get down that jump a little faster and cut him off a little harder, but is it going to look as good and be as fun and feel as smooth? And I just wanted to let it rip all the time.
Hey, Charlie Williams owes his picture in the magazine to you.
That's exactly it, dude. That is the you couldn't position the argument for it or whatever. You couldn't say it better than what you just said, Mike. That's the point I was trying to convey, man. It's so true, dude. Like, that's amazing. I love it. Yeah. Good shit, dude. And Coley was right. You didn't seem to sacrifice your results for your style, dude. You were always still up there running towards the front, man. I loved it. It's good shit.
Hey, Daryl, the 3 jerseys you got in the back there.
Oh yeah.
Your favorite team to, I mean, I feel like it's going to be JMC because you rode with them for so long, but favorite team to ride for?
Yeah, it was JMC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a good team. You didn't feel slighted. You knew it was expected of you. You knew what to expect from them. There was no blown smoke up your hind end. You know, if he made a promise, he kept it. Summer tours were fun because it was like just going on tour with your family, jump in the motorhome and go travel back east. And that was, well, that's one of the reasons my parents, you know, really, my dad pushed me to go to JMC when I had the chance. He goes, I think this is the team you need to go to. He goes, because I think they'll treat you right. And my parents, you know, they weren't going to turn me loose with just anybody. And they definitely liked Jim and Vera. They, you know, and it was like home. It was like home. They were just good people.
Did you have options?
Did I have options? Let's see, at that time, well, one, yeah, I had an option, get the hell off RS.
Okay.
JMC was one. The other was Kuahara back then at one point, and the other was oh man,
Bike Gallery.
Rebel at one point.
Oh, Rebel.
Yeah, I remember.
Wow.
Because you should come ride one of my bikes, and I was like, well, you guys do have red, white, and blue jerseys,
dude.
Yeah,
I think they were right. That JMC team that you were on, dude, was a ripper team, man. And you guys did have a good,
yeah.
There was a good bond between that team.
Well, if you look back at if you look at where you are today and where you came along on the trail to get here, being on GMC was the right team at the right time.
Yeah,
definitely.
You certainly got them more press than they ever got before. And they certainly promoted Daryl Young.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was fantastic. It was a great match. Great match.
No.
And Jim, and I was a factory JMC rider in '83.
Yep.
And dude, Jim treated me good. Like they were nice to me, man. You know, you felt special even when I was just a little co-factory kid, just a local co-factory kid, dude. And it was yeah, man. Who were your teammates on that JMC team?
Let's see. You had Butler, Carl Butler, Jason Ward,
Bushi.
yeah, Danny Farmer, Kevin Kellner. Let's see who else was on there at the time. Steffi DeFeo, Billy Feltz.
Billy Feltz.
Mm-hmm.
I ran with
And then when Billy left, who else did we get? We got somebody else. Oh, we had Justin Ruse on there for a while.
I was gonna say that.
Travis Younger,
my man.
oh man, Sean Glover from Texas. Jeff Whitbrot, Tinker Juarez, and who else? Oh, Bart McDaniel. Because that's where I learned a lot. Was that summer I had 3 freaking really good pros on JMC. I learned a bunch. Yeah, so yeah, it was quite the span there. A lot of different good riders. Who's that? Oh, the 2 Yo-Yo and Leon.
Yep,
Williams.
I was going to say the Williams family from Oklahoma.
Man.
Yeah, how could you
forgetting somebody? Oh,
I was going to throw it in there, man.
Yes, and those guys. So yeah, there was always somebody on JMC going fast.
Always, dude, always.
You were not. It was Sam and Sam.
Oh, yeah, Sam was on there for in '82 for a bit before he went to Raleigh.
And Tori Bailey, right?
And Tori Bailey
before he went to James GHP.
Yeah,
those were the reason I know those guys is because I was a local at Ascot, and so I always got to see Sam and Tori. And dude, yeah. Sam was, I mean, I know he had to have looked up to you because he was like a mini style cat.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely smooth operator, man.
Exactly, dude.
I think he ran a taller gear just to do that.
I know, exactly. Oh man. No, that was dude, the colors of that team, your guys' helmets. I raced Danny Farmer, and so Danny always had those candy apple pearl blue and red helmets, man. Dude, everything about it was just like, gosh, dude, I want some of that. I need to be on that team, bro.
And you were.
I was. I will tell you, my mom made me sit in the living room, and she called to get me, like she was gonna make a phone call to be with to try and get me on Co-Factory. And she's like, you need to go stay in the living room, blah. And she went in the back room to this phone that we had in the back of the house, and she never really used that phone, but she went in there so she could close the door. Dude, I ran to the door and I listened to the door. And when she said, okay, we're going to come pick up the bikes, dude, I ran down the hall as fast as I could because I didn't want her to know I was listening, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Then I had to pretend like I didn't hear her.
Dude, you could have ran down the hall earlier this week and heard her calling JV.
Oh boy.
About getting JV in trouble about that picture.
Yeah.
And I would have been running down the hall the opposite way.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I was stoked to be a part. Just the colors and everything, man. It was just it was so iconic, dude. It really was. And the logo too. Even the JMC logo itself is
the shield.
Yeah, it's so unique and iconic, right?
Yeah. The shield.
Like for me, the summer that Harry was on the cover, in '79, and I remember getting that magazine and going, damn, that's just really cool. I wonder if I can learn that jump. And the fact that I had no idea where my career was going, but the fact I ended up learning that jump, I ended up on that team. And then, like everybody else, eventually got shoved over, burned by Harry, out of kindness. But, it's just,
that's like, not a small club.
Yeah, it's not. And how you start out and where you end up. And it's always amazing. And sometimes how fast it can happen. Yeah. And then when it's all gone, you got your memories. And, but then, every once in a while, you get your buddies say, hey, we should go riding. We should go to the track. Like, well, I went last Thursday because Doug is going to be the death of me. I'll tell you that right now. Got to do gate practice. Okay. And went out and did that on one of the new tracks around here. And there's
no doubt in the mind of JV, EC, and I that you were awesome, you were smooth, you were fast, and you'd probably jump some big jump and threw it sideways and look great at it, man.
He jumped a jump that nobody else even.
No, I just jumped.
And he had a 16, and he did it on a 16-inch pit bike.
I jumped the same jump everybody else jumped. I just threw in a flatty.
You just did it better and smoother than everyone else, of course. Yeah,
little, you know.
And I didn't lower my seat all the way either.
No, of course you did. Why would you? Hey,
You know.
DY, will we see you at the Pacific Northwest Bike Show in July?
You might, if I'm not doing moto that weekend.
Yep. Hope to see you there, brother. Always a thrill to see you. Always a thrill to talk to you. Anytime we get to share time with you, dude, you're just, like I said, we're all three big fans, and always will be. Such a good guy.
We hope to see a Dirty Fest one day.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Next year is probably going to happen.
yes.
All right.
I'm sorry. Let's rewind that. Hey, Daryl, we'll see you at Dirty Fest next year, won't we?
I love it.
Okay.
Hey,
There we go. Sure.
Let's lean on it. Lean on it right now. Hey,
Russ talk
Daryl.
you into it?
Hey, Daryl. You know, Dirty Fest, it's just not the same with the most smoothest radical rider ever with most style. Can't wait to see you there. You'll be there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Talking about. I love it, dude. Did Russ get you clued in on it and get you to come down?
Yeah, him and Zurzo were calling me and texting me and like, dude, you gonna come down? And I'm like,
right.
I was gonna come down, and then I had setbacks with my arthritis and was kind of just stuck here. So yeah.
Seriously, man. All kidding aside, it would be great to have you there, especially after watching you ride in Portland or in wherever that was.
Eugene.
Yeah. Was it North?
Lake Oswego? I don't know.
Oh, right.
It's all chainsaw massacre to me.
It's all chainsaw.
Yeah. Listen, after watching you ride there, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy hasn't lost a step.
Well, you guys are kind of overlooking some too. You know, I was smooth that day, but I was on a Reynolds. You know, that other kid, you know,
that other smooth guy.
He rode a JMC.
I know.
You know that
sent him photos, and he was texting me, dude, is that one of my bikes? I'm like, yeah. And then somebody posted some. So if you guys both rode each other's bikes, who rode each other's bikes better?
Was the question.
I will witness. He might be Dr. Smooth, but you are Surgeon Smooth.
That's pretty good. That's awesome though, dude. Because I remember the first time I saw him was I think it was 84, 85 back east, one of those back east nationals. It was the first time they had the triple doubles, wherever that was at the national. And he was, and that's the first time I saw him. And he was this super tall, lanky guy on a JMC. And I was like, who is that kid, man? And I never forgot. So, but
JV, no offense, but I thought it was the wrist wrap gloves that made people smooth.
Well, I think
until I saw Sean Texas with wrist wraps, it was not the gloves. It was not the gloves.
Well, no, he might have had them on backwards.
I think he couldn't get them on all the way because it's, whatever.
Yeah, wrist wraps. I mean, come on, wrist wraps were pretty smooth looking.
Best, and now you see guys in the Major League Baseball, they got the wrist wraps on there.
See?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Well, fellas, got to tell you, this is a great one. As I knew it would be, man. Daryl, God dang it.
Yeah, we're blessed to have. Blessed to have witnessed you ride and race, man. It was good stuff, dude. I love it.
Heck, I
can't wait.
I was lucky to see you race plenty of times. Towards the end of my career, that's the only reason I kept racing was just what's the easiest way to get to the races and see your buddies race and see how it turns out at the end of the year. Well, you just find a factory ride, keep riding.
That's right.
The easiest way to do it.
I love it. Exactly.
And if you should happen to say, make a wager on the side with another parent on who might win said main event and make, a little extra money, nothing wrong with that either. It's all good.
Dude,
BMX has been very good to me. I'll say that.
Well, you were very good to BMX, no doubt about it.
Oh,
Very
thanks.
good to BMX, yeah. All right, fellas.
See you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, DY. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Daryl.
Still a
Thank you.
fan. Still a
Thank you.
fan.
Can't wait to see you at Dirty Fest, dude. I'm so stoked that you're coming
It's
on
good.
down. It's gonna be great.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I will be there.
Awesome.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Yep.
I'll see you in a few weeks at the Pacific Northwest Bike Show
That's
I
right.
mean, you can find
in Seattle.
Right on. You guys take care.
You
See you,
too.
bud.
Thanks, Daryl.
All right,
Thank you,
Joe.
brother.
See you now.
See you, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Fellas, hang on.
Yeah.
Not you, Daryl. You can go.
Oh, okay. See you later. You turd bird.
So good, dude. Love that guy. Oh, look at that. Nice
Look at
shirt, by the way.
yeah.
Hey, DY, hold on. Nice
Should have
shirt.
showed that off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
There you
Yeah. Dot, Is that say
Yeah.
dot mom?
No.
go.
Hey. Daryl, did you see right? Daryl, did you see mine, dude?
Oh, nice. Dude, I
Yeah.
haven't even
Dude,
got
this
mine
was
yet.
for you.
Yeah, I haven't got mine yet.
Dude, this thing, there was a dipstick in this thing's future, but I saved it because of you, man. This had a dirty chain coming right out. Oh no, I gotta save this for DY, man. Saving this thing.
Nice. Right on.
All right,
Take care,
brother.
man.
We'll see you.
All right.
Okay. Later.
Later.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, you bunch of dirty knobs. So please do that. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Comment if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear it. And we will be back out here in 2 weeks with another one. And thanks to our sponsors. Speaking of which, we are going to read some commercials to you now. Thanks for showing our sponsors the love because they're showing it to us. Thanks again, and we'll catch up to you soon.
Hey, this is John Cruz. No, we're not having an earthquake. I have Parkinson's. What do you think of that, Michael?
We ought to pitch in and get you a gimbal.
That would be nice. But seriously, this is John Cruz, and I obviously have something going on, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 20 years ago this year, actually. So I've chosen the Davis Finney Foundation over the years to be my voice for Parkinson's. If you're not familiar with the Davis Finney Foundation, Davis Finney is one of the winningest cyclists in American history. He's the roadie, if you guys remember those roadies out there, all that Lycra and stuff. But he is just a great man. When he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, he decided to make a difference in people's lives. And his choice was to start a foundation. And that foundation obviously wishes for a cure for Parkinson's because there is no cure at this time. But they recognize that you have to live with Parkinson's. And your caregivers are having to live and take care of us. And the Davis Finney Foundation, that's what they do, is they only look for a cure, but they look for ways to enhance the quality of life for Parkinson's sufferers and their caregivers. So I appreciate all of you supporting the Davis Finney Foundation. It certainly means a lot to me. I know we all have something, right? So I think it's important to give back to our communities, whether it's BMX or a foundation that's close to your heart. If you don't have one, please choose mine. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, John Cruz. You certainly have made a difference in a lot of lives, including mine, and giving us the opportunity to do something good for somebody else is fantastic. So thank you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of John Cruz, please find a way to give something. to the Davis Finney Foundation on behalf of John Cruz, the Dirty Knobs, and your entire BMX family. Thank you very much.
All right, all you old coots and young speed demons. This is Todd Huffman with the Frogtown Classic International BMX Days, going on its 4th year this September 6th through the 8th in Angels Camp, California. A little over 4 months away until you guys are able to tear up that downhill track once again. The one that started it all, the Frogtown Classic International BMX Days 2024.
Okay, so we're ready for this? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, record. Hey guys, this is Bill Ryan. I'm the owner of Supercross, and I'm now the caretaker of Torker. Now, Torker, you might see right above the shoulder here of this dirty knob, Mike Miranda. He's got a Torker jersey. He's a Torker alumni. We've been working for 9 years to bring Torker back to its original foundation, to its original roots, to its original twin top tube radness. A bunch of really cool restoration, remake, new versions of what you remember from your childhood that you actually get to ride. If you're in the UK, Alan's BMX, what a fun project. 9 years of my life has been dedicated into this to try and bring more fun to everybody out there. You need to ride a Torker. For more information, you just go to torkerracing.com or follow us on Torker Racing on Instagram. Boom, you're going to get to see all the inside stuff.
And then sing it out right now.
All right, coming live and direct from the Colt Clubhouse in Santa Ana, California. Come on down and get all your BMX needs. We're giving away free air for your tires. That's all I got, brother.
That's great. That's great. All right. Now.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Velocity Bike Park is the premier bike park for riders in Southern California, with 25 miles of world-class trails, obstacles, flow track, and races for mountain biking, gravel, and BMX.
Ultramax, when you get home from the races, do you feel dirty? I mean, is your bike dirty? Really dirty? I know you're dirty. Well, that's when you need the Ultramax sponge, guaranteed to get all your hard to reach places clean. I know, because Hollywood is always dirty. Not available where reading glasses and bobbleheads are sold, but you can still get an Ultramax t-shirt at dirtyknobs.com.
B-Side Bikes, the very best in original vintage BMX and motocross parts. With many parts to choose from, we are consistently selling and buying. Hit us up for your special requests. Chances are we can find it. Since 2015 and family ran B-Side Bikes. The passion never fades at B-Side Bikes. It just continues. B-Side Bikes.
Hi everybody, Toby Henderson, founder of Box, co-founder of American BMX Companies, the owner of Race Inc., Botima, and Cook Brothers Racing. We brought these two companies together to bring you the best quality product you can get for a BMX bike. We're all about the rider, so please check out our Level Up and Rider First programs. See you at the track.
ODI Grips, the world leader in grip technology, home of the lock-on grip system. Check them out over at www.odigrips.com. 4416 Designs commercial. Take one.
There you go. All right. 4416 Designs. We make shirts, but we don't sell them. We're just giving back to the sport. If you're out at Ukaipa BMX and you need a shirt, hit me up. I'll hook you up with one.
Yeah, I love that. Mega Design Group is a full-service marketing firm. They handle everything from logos to advertising to packaging. Having over 25 years experience in the print and marketing fields, they can handle any hurdle. Check it out at megadesigngroup.com. Cool Stop Brake Pads. High performance bicycle brake pads since 1977. Check them out at coolstop.com. That's KOOLSTOP.com.
Hey, you dirty knobs! You've been watching the Dirty Knob Podcast with Mike Miranda, Eric Carter, and James Vicente. Guess what? Now, I'm Bill Ryan. This is Supercross BMX. You need to click on the supercrossbmx.com. Come on over. Buy stuff. We need to sell stuff so we can keep in business, so we can keep supporting the show. Come on. Do it.
Hey bro, how's it going? Go check out the new apparel at supercrossbmx.com. We got straw hats for those bright days. We got the retro long sleeve. We got the global shirts. We got the speed check jackets. And last but not least, we got the trimmers. Go check it out.
Hey everyone, this is Brian Wilson with ProGate. We are the official gate supplier for UCI and the Olympics. We even make a gate that you can practice on in your driveway at home.
Wait a minute, who else are you making a gate for?
We're making a gate for Dirty Fest. You guys got to come and check it out. Whatever Dirty Fest needs for this track, we're going to supply it. We're not some French knockoff, you know. We're the gold standard in BMX gates. And make sure to check us out at progate.net and bmxtracksupply.com, and we'll see you at Dirty Fest for sure. Take care, everybody.
Hey, folks, this is Mike Rodriguez, a.k.a. Mr. Crit. I've been racing and making number plates since 1980. You know, like when they used to do one pedal starts. But you know, Crit Blade has been around for 43 years. The last 4 decades, the who's who of BMX have raced a Crit number plate straight to the handlebars. And you know, you get that guy Mike Savage, the international man of BMX, still doing it strong. And you know, back in the day, the plates used to be reversible because there was multiple sanctions, and you could put, you know, one sanction on one side, one on the other. Now you just got one. But Crit is still reversible, and that logo is still on the back for guys like Mike and you rad guys, you know, like Mike Miranda, who would turn those handlebars and twist them up. And we got it rad just for you.
All right. Hey, where will we see those plates?
Those plates you can see at every single bike shop that stocks BMX stuff in the USA and Canada.
And where will you be at? Will you be at an event sometime soon?
Damn, I'm sponsoring the Dirty Fest, and I can't wait to come out to Southern California and get dirty.
Amy grips, still made here in the USA. Used by world champions like me, Tommy Brackens. If you want to know more about the best grips on earth, go to amy.com.
All right, Mark, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dino Bartoli from ABSA Pro.
And I'm Mark Darcy from ABSA Pro.
Together, we are bringing you the ABSA Pro Bike Show Association. Our mission is to bring together a bike show community across the United States. We have these bike shows. We're going to run them all the same with consistent rules and a detailed, organized judging format. We wanted to make an organization so that you guys can get points. So there's a point system, a code of conduct, rules and regulations. We have a membership that's specifically old school bike shows. You want to get on board all that hard work and dedication that you put into your bikes. You want to show it off. You want to have it justified, all that hard work you've done. You want to bring it out to our shows. You want to join our memberships, get associated with us.
Actually, our awards are phenomenal awards. We have best of show trophies. We have 17 classes. There's 3 trophies per class. And we even hand out super clean awards to some of the other participants that are there. So come check it out.
come bring your bikes, enjoy the shows, and enjoy what we're doing with the bike show community.
Don't forget to sign up.
Our website has all our judging critiques on it, how we judge, what we judge, our 50-point scale with quarter points. We take it down to the nitty-gritty to make sure the best of the bike wins.
Dino, where do we go to find out that information?
You go to absapro.com. That's absapro.com.
Let me say that again, absapro.com.
Ready?
And that's going in.
Yeah. We need a doing. All right.
What's your nickname for like on the mic? Do you have a?
No.
You don't have?
I don't really have a nickname. It's Mike.
Oh.
Just Mike on the mic.
Pain in my ass.
She got one.
That's getting edited.
Yeah.
We're putting that in.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller, author of Day One by Michael Miller. And a special offer going out. Anybody who buys the book between now and Dirty Fest, which is April 28th through 30th, I'm going to take all the money from the book and send it to the Davis Finney Foundation for those with Parkinson's. So get your copy on Amazon.com and we'll make a donation.
Hey, what was the name of that book again?
Day One by Michael Miller, which is me.
I'm sorry. Hey, what was that name again?
Day One by Michael Miller.
Hey, support the podcasts that support us, our friends. The fine folks over there at All Things BMX, which is our favorite Wednesday night live podcast, as you know. Our buddies over there at Beer Budget BMX, Big Bike BMX, and BMX Weekly. Check them out. Check them out. Our friends.
What's up, everybody? It's your friend Isaac from Big Bike BMX, and I've got a podcast with my best friend, 80s BMX Craig.
Yep. And guess what, you guys? If you have enjoyed your time here on the Dirty Knobs podcast, we'd love for you guys to come over and hang out with us at Big Bike BMX, where we've got all your old school legends and BMX from the past and today at Big Bike BMX. Isaac,
come check us out. We'd love the opportunity to win you over. And if not, hey, it's just another place to talk about BMX with your grimy friends. It's fun.
Hey, Dale Holmes, I want to tell you something. One of my favorite podcasts that I never miss is BMX Weekly. Even though it has an accent, I still love it.
Cheers, Mike. You can get all the podcasts on bmxweekly.com. Old school, mid school, today's school. Check it out.
Yeah, BMX Weekly.
Hey, here we go. Hey, Beer Budget BMX, baby. Coming at you live from the Beer Budget studios over here at the Hack Shack Quarantine. Oh, man, we're coming in hotter than Satan's nutsack. Yeah, we are dirtier than an Alabama strip club where reclass pros go and get lap dances by their half-sister. Yeah, the only show that'll make you second-guess your life choices like a Amish on an e-bike.
hey, if you guys enjoy what you just listened to, make sure you tune in every Wednesday night to the All Things BMX show, the only live streaming podcast show in the game right now. Even ask Mike. He's been on. Vicente's been on. Still waiting for that other guy to come on the show. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you can also find us at allthingsbmxshow.com.
Keep it dirty.
That would be cool.
Hey, now I'm going to edit this one out. Dude, I just came from the track.
Yeah.
And I raced cruiser. Dude, I got my ass handed to me.
Oh, really? You
Yeah,
raced?
you raced? Yeah, I raced. Usually I race all the dads.
Yeah.
You know, and I can ride dirty enough to hold my own. But dude, there was like a 13 or 14-year-old kid. Dude, he's way bigger than me. Huge kid, strong as a bull. Dude, I got my best AA start. I got a good start in the first moto. And like in 4 pedals, this guy went right by me.
Wow.
In the second moto, I got to tell you this. In the second moto, I was mad. And I got a good start. And I just got right in behind him and I was drafting him like a like a Prius behind a diesel truck, dude. I got behind this kid and I followed him all the way around. And the last turn, dude, I went to the inside first so he'd see me. Then I swung wide and then he went in and he didn't know. So I gave him the crazy Ronnie.
Yeah.
I went inside and then I went high and I just slowed down just enough until I heard, and I go, okay, I got it. And I just cruised to the finish line. The third moto, dude, I put the eagle eye on the gate. I was like, I'm getting this one, man. And I gave it, dude. I was pinball wizard on the gate, and I got the best. I got a AAA start. And dude, I thought there's no way this kid, dude, again, 4 pedals into it, he blows right by me.
Wow.
AAA start?
Dude, it was AAA start.
AAA.
Kid blew right by me. I was never, dude, it was all I could. If I could have reached out and grabbed the back of his jersey, I would have.
You would have had to do it by the first jump though, huh?
Yeah, by the first jump. But after that, it was just, I saw him out there just cruising. I was like, damn it. Jackson Gibson, you are my hero.
Could have been the AARP start.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it wasn't AAA. It was AARP.
Oh my god!
Hey, while he's connecting, look at this. Look at this move right here.
You're not allowed to put that in there. I don't think.
I think this is my heritage right here, man.
Dude, that's international.
I got Mexican and German Jew rocking it right here.
That's
the PBRs were on sale, and I got the Modelo on sale, and it's right up my alley, man.
No, it's international relations, bro.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess that makes sense.
We're making good with that border crisis.